lie, you guys, my hair is really dirty. Like, we are overdue for a deep cleanse and wash of this mane, but I do not have time today. I have a lot to do. I need to run out and do some errands, so I need to do my hair pretty quickly. Plus, I think we're gonna have a pool day tomorrow, so there's kind of no point in washing it. I'll wait until after that. But, so I figured I would show you guys how I revive my mane. Spoiler alert, it involves a lot of dry shampoo, a little texture spray, and the Dyson Airwrap, of course. I feel like that shouldn't be a surprise. And this is a routine I will do throughout the week. And I've shared before, I genuinely love using my Dyson Airwrap on my dry hair. If you haven't seen any of my prior videos on how I use it on my dry hair, I'm excited that this will be your first one. And if you have seen my others, then welcome back. I feel like people get very intrigued to know that I love using my Airwrap on my dry hair rather than like a full wet to dry routine, which I will still use. But the main way that I use my Airwrap is on my dry hair. So anyways, I said we don't have a lot of time, so let's go ahead and get started by removing this little headband. I have two different dry shampoos that I grabbed for. One being the Day Fairy Duster dry shampoo that just kind of mists out, so that's what I'm using today. I love that this is just a misting nozzle rather than an aerosol can. It has such a good scent. It really does absorb oil quickly. Perfect for adding grit if you ever need to add like a little texture to the top of your hair. And then of course, if you have dirty hair like I do right now, it's also especially perfect. So I just lift up different sections all around, mist this through once or twice, massage it in, and then I'm gonna take my hairbrush and just kind of brush it through the top. This is a good starting point. It definitely gives it some life, helps to add some volume, soaks up some of that excess oil that I had going on. Is it perfect like brand new freshly washed hair? No, but I'm on like day 8 hair right now, so she does a pretty good job. Then I'm gonna take my flat iron and run it through some of my baby hairs and like right around my face just to smooth those out because they get gross and like kind of curly just throughout the day, and it's so humid here. So I'm using the Kristen S Style Assist Blow Dry Mist, which is also a heat protector. My favorite heat protector I've ever used. This is also like $13. Lasts forever. I finally just had to restock on it. I'm sure you can hear the bottle, but it's like, she's pretty much out. And then we'll just take my GHD flat iron. This is a 1-inch, and go over these little hairs. This is the best flat iron I've ever used. I don't think I've done a flat iron routine in a while, but I can definitely do one soon if you guys are interested. If you guys are new to my channel or just haven't watched any of my hair videos before, for reference, I have naturally curly, coarse, frizzy hair, and I also have 2 rows of hand-tied extensions. Okay, now that everything is smooth, we can go ahead and just jump right into the Airwrap. I am not going to section my hair, and I'm using the larger barrel of the 2 sizes. I toggle back and forth between using the large and the small just depending on how I want my hair to look, but I know my hair is dirty. I really just want to add some movement and some curl to it, just have big bouncy volume, and the larger barrel is really perfect for that. One thing to note is that typically I don't put any other product on my hair before starting. I will at the end, but I don't use a heat protector or anything like that. I mean, technically I already have it on my hair from where I flat ironed, but the Dyson does guarantee no heat damage because the tool does not go above a certain temperature, which I've mentioned this in some of my previous videos, but that's something I learned last summer and was like super pleasantly surprised to hear. So anyways, arrow is facing back, so I'm going to curl backward, and I'm just going to start grabbing sections and jump right in. Okay, so I put it on the highest heat, highest like air setting, let it stay on there for a couple seconds, and then before I cut it off, I bring the heat down to the cool setting, let it cool for a minute, and then I'm just holding it before I drop it. And I'll probably have to touch up these front pieces right at the end since they're the first ones that I'm doing. But overall, everything holds pretty well, especially once I get that texture spray in. And sometimes my hair needs help staying on the barrel, especially with the extensions. It's just a little heavier, so I don't mind doing that. That's also the other caveat of using it this way, like a wand. And I get questions a lot like, why do you use the Airwrap instead of a wand? And it's because a wand just does not deliver the bounce and volume that the Airwrap is able to give. So I just love this look and this curl. It is so much different in my opinion than curling with a wand or even a curling iron. And I'm focusing on the mids and ends for the curl. My hair is so dirty at the top anyways. I don't think it would hold very well, but that's kind of the look that I'm going for anyways. I really just want the mids and the ends to be curled and have that volume and that bounce, and then have the top be a little bit more sleek and smooth. And the size of the hair that you're grabbing to wrap is obviously gonna have an effect on like what kind of curl you get. So the smaller pieces that you do, the more like tighter the curl is gonna be. I will only do that if I've missed a hair like I did in that instance, but otherwise I'm grabbing medium to large pieces and wrapping. And when I'm not stopping to talk and like share step-by-step instructions every 2 seconds, I can knock this out in 10 minutes. So I think it's also like a really quick alternative to getting like pretty much a salon looking worthy type blowout. I've gotten that entire side, so now I'm gonna switch the arrow on the barrel and do this side. The piece that's sticking out, hopefully you guys can hear me and I'm not screaming, is extension. But otherwise, like sometimes it does do a really good job of holding my hair if it's not like too heavy of a strand. And if not, then I just hold the ends. And hopefully you all can start to get an idea of how the finished hair is going to look in the curl, but it's just effortless in my opinion, which is what I love about this and the size of this barrel. Like even on dirty hair, I feel like it looks so pretty, so perfect. Okay, we're almost done. I touched up the front piece on this side and now I just need to do this one. And we should be good. All right, it is looking pretty good. I mean, comparatively to what we started with, I mean, my gosh. I'm gonna add a little bit of the Beach Wave spray from Kristen S. This is one of my favorites to add because it is so lightweight. It adds a little bit of hold, a little texture, but it doesn't ever make my hair feel like crunchy, crispy. It doesn't leave any stickiness behind. I'm very particular about finishing products, and this is one that has my seal of approval, plus it's like under $15. So we love that. But I'm just gonna mist it on mids to ends. It's so hard to talk and spray. But just like that, you guys, hair is revived for at least another day, at least one more, and I will take it. This is one of my favorite little dirty hair hacks. I feel like it always works. It never lets me down. It's so easy to do, doesn't take long, and I feel like it does a very good job at concealing that we're on day 8 here. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what other hair videos you want to see from me. Maybe we will make this like a weekly thing where I just sit down, chat, either revive my dirty hair, because that happens multiple times throughout the week, or I just share another hair tool that I'm using and loving. But I'll link everything that I use down below. Also, if you want a more in-depth tutorial on using the Dyson, I have a couple other videos that you can watch as well. But I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning back in, and until next time.